Yes.
Hi everyone, this is Didi.
And I am Fred. And this is our 36-foot floating home sunshine.
Join us as we go sailing.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning everybody.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's Wednesday morning, about 7 a.m. local time on the 23rd of November 2022. And just about this time completes Dee Dee's first week at sea without stopping anywhere else. So how you doing there, honey?
A little bit boring. I use my laptop, my tab not to feel boring. But I enjoyed.
That's it?
Yeah. I enjoy steering the wheel if this man sleeping. So I am the captain, and actually I didn't feel any boredness because of the waves. I enjoy watching them. So yeah, then especially in the night, a little bit of afraid of small fishing boat, fishing vessels, because man is sleeping. I don't want to wake him. Then we have 3 hour shift, but he sleep 4 hours. Then mine is okay. I drink coffee to make not to feel sleepy.
Well, that's your choice, dear. You could wake me up.
Oh, I know. I will let you, cause that you need that rest or sleep than me, because I am strong. Still strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Look at those muscles. She's
Yeah.
tough.
No meat. Oh my God. One meal every day and a little one time snack. That's it. And old water and coffee. Makes me sexy.
That it does.
Well, yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, folks, I'm very proud of Dee Dee. We've been together over 5 years now, and unfortunately, with the COVID nonsense, we were only not able to do a whole lot of sailing in the Philippines. We did get one trip up to Subic and back before it all started, but soon after our return is when the craziness began. And I mean, we couldn't even leave the harbor, let alone go to any of the other islands in the beginning, because travel was so restricted everywhere. Anyway, she's been a real trooper. I can see her slow but steady gain in confidence.
Yep.
On the boat and handling it. And early this morning, there are fishing boats all over the place out here. I didn't realize it until I looked closely at the chart this morning. But this area we're in is getting over towards the coast of Malaysia and up north towards the coast of Cambodia. The water out here is only about 100 feet deep. So, needless to say, it attracts a lot of fishing boats. I think they're trying to catch shrimp or prawn, whichever you prefer the word.
Squid.
Oh, I don't
Have
know.
squid here.
I don't know if they have squid.
Tuna.
Yeah, I don't think they would have deep sea fish here because the water's too shallow and probably too warm because it's shallow. Anyway, I follow them on the AIS, and they still, for some strange reason, love to cluster up around Sunshine. And they'll sit there, a whole group of 10, 12, 15 of them, sit right smack on our course line. And I just keep going, and late last night I had to play a little bit of light tag with one of them, trying to get him to move a little bit out of the way with my feet, my 3 million candle power photon generator. I got a huge spotlight. Anyway, I think he did finally move enough to let us go by without smacking into him. These boats are not huge, the fishing boats, probably 40 or 50 feet. Anyway, last night, there were a couple of them. I'm not exactly sure what they were doing and the maneuvering that they were doing, but they kept wanting to cross our path in front of our bow, and then they changed their mind and go back the other direction for a while. And they had this weird thing on the AIS. It looked like, from the identification tags on them, they were drift nets. And they'd have, emanating from one boat, they'd have like 20 of these things going out. And it looked like a fan. You know, an old style parasol fan like that, coming out from one central location and covering a big arc. I don't know if that was some kind of nonsense that they were doing with the programming on the broadcast. They all seem to have identifiers, but not as ships. The best I could get out of it was a net, like 8 by 6 meters. So I'm thinking maybe they were drift nets. You know, they just cast them to drift, or they set them all out from the mothership on varying lengths of line and let the current hold them, and then sometime later haul them in and see what they catch. I never saw them, and I never saw the fishing boats doing anything with them directly. But I sailed right through a couple of them last night because I couldn't avoid them. I mean, we're pretty much hard on the wind, so I can't go to port at all. And I don't want to go to starboard because I don't want to give up any more distance to the north. Anyway, Dee Dee handled it all on her own. Played dueling fishing boats with these guys for a couple of hours. Had to alter course a little bit one time because the one bozo insisted on getting so close to us. And when I finally got up this morning, about 4 o'clock or so, she came down and she was all bubbly and enthusiastic about, I did it! I handled the boat and got around all those nasty fishing boats, no problem. I said, see, I told you could do it. Just watch the lights, watch the AIS, and see where they're going, see where we're going. Watch the CPA, closest point of approach, and their speed.
I am busy ba?
Yeah,
Early morning.
she was a busy
Check
girl.
there, then manage here,
Yeah,
take off. I ease the locking pan.
yeah. Change the setup a little
Yeah.
bit on the wheel.
Then back. Then
What she's
still
talking
back.
about is I've got 2 control lines on the wheel,
Control line, so that no need to hold or
and that's because the brake on the shaft on the wheel will not hold 100%. If you get knocked sideways sharply by a wave or something, it'll cause the wheel to turn, and then of course the lock holds in that turn position, which is either too much weather helm or too much lee helm, and the boat goes wonkers. So I made up those little tackles, put the little lines on with the a sail fitting. What the heck are they called? Anyway, hook them onto the spokes of the wheel, and that holds the wheel into position. So other than that, we're doing great. Looks like another beautiful day. One important note is early around sunrise, the wind seems to have made a definite shift, because now Singapore is about 205 degrees from us, about 500 miles, and I keep looking for this northeast wind to fill in. Well, it has shifted a fair amount, so now we are, what, 30 more than south would be, or 30 more.
South, 210.
Yeah, we're making about 210 right now, which is great. And the wind, it's still variable, and the waves are a bit choppy and mixed up because the south waves are now coming in and dancing with the southwest waves. And there's a little residual northeast swell still coming in. Other than that, everything's fine. If conditions continue like this, we're making a little over 4 knots right now. Just took one reef out of the mainsail to see how the boat would do. I might put up the staysail here because the weather seems pretty settled and we're not getting those big squall lines building up anywhere around the horizon, especially the weather. So that's good. Add the staysail, maybe get a little more speed up. But as long as we're making 4+ knots, that's 100 miles a day.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's 5 to 6 days into Singapore. And that'll be great. Anyway, that's it. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Here it is Wednesday morning again. See that boat out there? That same boat is the one that's been dogging us since, a little bit before sundown yesterday. He's just sitting out there, kind of paralleling our course. Now it looks like I can barely see. It's got a line going into the water off his starboard side. Maybe that's a net of some kind. But that guy has gone from that side and that direction to that side and 180-degree direction, crossed in front of us, bobbled around to port, gone around, crossed our stern, and come back over there, maybe altogether now 3 times. Why they insist on hanging around me and my sailboat, I just don't know. It's like I'm not a fish attractor. I don't know what they want, but it's very annoying, especially since I have limited maneuverability being hard on the wind. Hopefully we'll get far enough away from him that he don't want to follow us anymore. We'll see.
Just in case you thought I was kidding about being surrounded by these fisherman boats, you see that red mark pretty much right in the center? I'm not even going to guess how many boats are out there. 30? Within average of about 12-mile radius of our current location. And of course you can see the weird course line. It's because the wind shifted this morning more favorably. I mean, look at that. That's insane. And absolutely no point. Because there's a big ocean out there with all kinds of room in it. But this is the way we were going. Till early this morning, the wind finally shifted around in our favor. So now we're closer to being able to follow this course line, which is down towards Singapore. And it's almost like this is constant. Like this being surrounded by fishing boats. They're following us. And it's very annoying